Hi, this is Douglas Adams, and I'm here to tell you that Infinite Megahertz is the greatest television program in the known galaxy. Trust me on this.
Hi, this is Scott Krager from Activision, and you're watching Infinite Megahertz. Don't miss it. Your life depends on it.
Welcome to Infinite Megahertz. We have the E3 convention, 1997, in Atlanta, Georgia. We have 3 football fields full of vendors. We have a Superdome full of vendors. We have over 2,000 new software titles to review, and we're going to show you all, well, a good portion of it. So please, stay tuned.
We're here at 7th level with Craig Boland, the producer of Return to Krondor. Return to Krondor looks to be an RPG game. Can you give us a quick rundown on that, Craig?
Sure. It's a fantasy role-playing game based on Raymond E. Feist's World of Midkemia. He sold about 12 million books worldwide based on that world. The real goal here is to try and make an experience that's as much like being a character in a Raymond Feist novel as possible. So it's a fantasy role-playing game. You'll play 5 characters, no more than 4 at a time. You guide them through a series of adventures where they try to reclaim the Tear of the Gods, which is a magical artifact that's sunk to the bottom of the bitter sea.
Now, do the game levels and the game itself pretty much follow along with some of the books?
It's set in between 2 of Ray's books, in between Darkness at Sethanon and Prince of the Blood, and it also follows shortly after Betrayal at Krondor, which was the previous game. So it's in between the books, it shares characters with the books, but it's a totally new story.
It looks good. I was seeing you actually demo a couple of things, for instance, eye movement, breathing.
Sure.
So, and for instance, our character here isn't just a standard block polygon character. He has a living, breathing soul that we can actually sort of connect with.
Well, what we've got is really 2 different things. The thing that I was demoing previously was a cinemat from the game, which are done largely in Lightwave, and the main villain there has been modeled so exactly that his eyes move independently and he breathes. In the game itself, we're using 3D real-time models for the characters. Those models are offered at 3 different levels of detail. So if you're running a fast machine, we'll give you the 500 face count model. If you got a P90, we'll give you the 150 face count model. We're doing all sorts of things to accommodate both ends of machines, but they will be 3D real-time polygonal models in gameplay.
Yeah, and the release date would be for Return
First quarter, 1998.
First quarter of 98?
You got it.
So right after Christmas, just about the time everybody wants to trade in the things they didn't like to get something they really do like.
Exactly.
When's your demo going to be out?
The demo will be out shortly before the game itself. What we really want to do here is that people play the demo. We want them to be able to buy the game shortly thereafter, rather than leave them waiting for a while.
Now, this is more of an RPG game, would you term it, or more of the first-person action game?
No, it's definitely a role-playing game, not an adventure game or even really an action game. It features a tactical turn-based combat system, something to go back to the old days.
For instance, would take a normal player how long?
Well, it's not really a level-oriented game, it's a story-oriented game. So the entire game itself is a very long game. It's an epic quest, very much similar to the previous game. I would say, many, many hours of gameplay. It's very hard for me to estimate at this point because I myself haven't played through the whole thing. There's 9 hours of recorded dialogue, though.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you very much, Craig.
Oh,
nice to talk to you. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
This is Bradley Wilmette at Infinite Megahertz E3 convention, and we're at Mega Media right now with a new game called Outlaw Racers, and we have Ben David here, who is the animator of the game. How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you guys?
Pretty good. Having a great time at the E3?
It's more work than anything. It's been pretty busy, but crowds are pretty friendly, and I've had a chance to demo some of the games, and hopefully, you know, everyone's having a good time too.
Super. Well, let's take a look at this game here. Let's see, how does it compare to other racing games?
Well, this game will be unique for one aspect. As most people will know, every racing game seems to be on a fixed track.
Yep.
What we've decided to do is, what about making a game that's on a random generation scheme, meaning every time you load up a game or a stage, it's a totally new background, it's a totally new topology. In other words, it's a totally different city. As you can see, there's a map right now. These are checkpoints that you're going to want to hit where you can collect prize money. You need that prize money to purchase for upgrades and also to pay for traffic violations. As you can see, these checkpoints are randomly placed in a city every time you go. If I was the red dot, there's obviously 2 to 3 multiple ways I can get to that checkpoint to get there. As you can see, it's not going to be on a fixed track.
That's really neat. So essentially, are you racing against other people in this
I will
game?
be racing other people in this game. It's going to be a strategy game, and what I think the game is going to be best optimized for is on net and internet play, where we're going to have at least 4 on network,
Super.
8 on internet.
That's good news to hear.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you very much for your time, Ben.
Okay, take care.
And enjoy the rest of the convention.
Okay, I will. You guys too.
Okay, we're speaking with Brian Donnelly of 7th Level with this new game Dominion. Brian, how long did it take you in development for this game?
We've been working on the development for Dominion about a year now.
About a year?
Yeah, about a year. So we started with an 8-minute.
Your release date for Dominion.
We're looking towards 4th quarter of this year, hopefully in October.
So you're looking more towards the fall/Christmas crowd, hopefully.
Definitely.
Now Dominion is a third-person
Real-time strategy
real-time strategy game, multiplayer. I would take it.
Oh yes, multiplayer, internet up to 8 players.
What do you think brings yours above the rest?
A couple of bases that are really particular to Dominion are, one, we have 4 races, all of which we've basically tried to basically make them as different as possible, but keeping the assets the same. Essentially, you always know that every race is a tank. You know, every race has a hovercraft. However, how you use them for each race is very different. Each race has its own characteristics and feelings. I'm playing the Darkins in this mission right here, and what they actually do, their general tactic is actually defensive. That's what they're best at. They have good armor, some good weapons. Yeah, the game is pretty much together as far as the pieces go. It's just making it fun. We're expecting the demo actually to come out very close to, if not at, the release date of the title. We don't want to, basically, we saw some demos that were released earlier for some of the other game companies, and they were very bad for those game companies because they were early demos. They didn't show what the game was about, and it actually hurt their sales. We want to make sure that the game is really complete and has everything in it that we need before we go and release a demo.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Brian. Take care, and good luck at Dominion.
Thank you.
We're here with Infinite Megahertz and Phil Hodgkinson, a producer of The Gatherer with 7th Level. The Gatherer seems to be a first-person game, Windows 95 compatible. Why don't you give me a few updates on it?
The Gatherer is actually a first-person and third-person point-of-view game. It's an action-adventure game, and it blends a lot of the Tomb Raider elements of environmental exploration, as well as a lot of the first-person action of Quake. And the game has a dark story interwoven throughout the whole game. Your character is a nameless soul trapped in hell, and he's made a deal with the devil in order to gain redemption or absolution. And that deal is to recapture 5 souls that have escaped into sort of Earth's time continuum, past and future, and then you must go out into these 5 time periods and capture the evil souls. Because there's sort of a demonic underlying tone to the whole game, there are often the sort of real-world weapons, but they often have a bit of a demonic twist. So you can take a normal, machete or a sword, and it gets a demonic power-up. So you can, there's some little minor sort of RPG type elements where you can actually, cast spells and stuff, because we have that, hell element in the Evil Dark.
One-on-one battles.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're actually trying to encourage in the game, because we have so many weapons. We've actually divided the weapons between close quarter combat and then projectile type combat, much like FX Fighter, but with weapons. And so we're trying to sort of vary the types of gameplay from Quake shoot 'em up or one-on-one tackling the player.
Great, looks really good. Thank you very much, Phil.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Master Paul say Washington Infinite Megahertz.
Welcome to the Activision booth. We're here with Interstate 76, and I have with me Scott Krager, who is the producer of the game.
Producer.
Yeah, and also Zach Norman, which is the game designer, I believe.
No, I'm the writer on Interstate 77.
Excellent. So, how did Interstate 76 first came about?
Actually, Zach here can tell you that story.
Interstate 76 was co-conceived by myself and Sean Beshy, the director. It came about actually as a desire to use the MechWarrior 2 technology to take it to the next level. We knew we wanted to make a vehicle-based combat sim, totally bitchin', like, first-person and third-person experience.
Yeah.
And to that end, we decided we had to find a vehicle that really had some real soul to it. And of course, the 70s muscle car was just the ticket. Of course, I was in the market to buy a 1971 CUDA, so it was kind of a shoe-in.
And that's really nice that you've incorporated internet play into this game. It's very awesome. I love the storyline itself.
Cool.
And I was hoping you could show us a little bit of it.
Sure, we can hop
And
right
this
on
is
there.
Interstate 77, which is the sequel?
Yeah, this is Interstate 77. It's actually the best of both worlds because we're going to position it and price it as an add-on pack, but it's going to be a full standalone product. It's going to have a whole new trip. Well, this time you get to play Taurus, who returns from Interstate 76.
Yeah.
So we got all new characters, some returning favorites, but new cutscenes. It'll be really cool. We're also beefing up the multiplayer side, about 30 new multiplayer missions, with new options like Capture the Flag, Last Man Standing,
nice.
whole set of racing missions.
Nice.
That was cool. We went online, and asked for feedback from the players. What do you like? What didn't you like? What do you want to see? And, as much of that as possible.
That's one thing that I wanted to see. I wanted to see more of like a campaign type thing where,
Right.
your job is to defend this base, kind of
Yeah,
like
exactly,
the MechWarrior 2.
exactly.
And that's what I look for, because you go on the internet today and you just get killing each other.
Yeah, yeah.
When is the Interstate 77 going to be available?
It's going to be early 98, probably late February, early March, around that area.
Okay, super. Why don't you show us a little bit of
Sure,
it?
I'll just hop in do a little combat here.
Okay. A lot of violence in it, I like it.
Yeah.
Do you like this view better than actually sitting inside the car itself?
This view is good for combat. It gives you a little bit more of an edge because you get a wider field of view. But I think from a visual experience level, it's actually better inside the cockpit because you feel closer to what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I personally prefer driving inside the car because of the availability of the instrumentation.
Exactly.
I have my radar readily in hand, and I can use that to, find my relationship to my enemies and destroy them effectively. Yeah, how about that for a mouthful?
Very well said.
So what other things does Interstate 77 have that Interstate 76 doesn't have?
Well, it's going to include difficulty levels. It's going to include a toggle for the instrumentation for all external views.
Okay.
These are all things that, like, people ask for. It's going to have a logo utility for the multiplayer games.
Like you say, yeah.
Right after Interstate 76 came out, there was a whole culture that started, almost immediately with the Auto Vigilante Guild and all these car gangs. So this will allow them to sort of, make their homemade car insignias and gang logos, be able to display them in the games. So it's basically going to include modifications like that. It's going to include some fixes and modifications that we didn't have time to do on 76. So it's going to be cool. Like I said, you get the best of both worlds. Get the lower price, but you're going to get like a full product.
Super.
So,
well, I want to thank you guys very much for coming.
Oh, sure.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And I want you to enjoy the rest of the convention. Well, what's left
Thanks.
of it.
Thanks a lot.
Stay tuned for future episodes in the Interstate Saga.
Yes, you know it.
It's still E3, and this is CH Products. And with CH Products, we have Jennifer. Jennifer, of course, is the Director of Marketing, and she's here to showcase a few things for us. Of course, we've got CH Products, and they have one of the best set of joysticks and control sticks and gamepads you could ever find with incredible warranties. Jen, if you could actually tell us what you think about your own stuff, of course.
Of course, it's all wonderful. We'll start with that. Everything that we make is based out of Vista, California. We have an 80,000 square foot facility. We make our own molds, inject our own plastics, assemble everything under one roof. So the quality control there is excellent, 100%. We test everything before it goes into a box, before we ship it to retail stores. We have a 3-year warranty on all our products, and we have a patented gimbal mechanism that was invented by our president, and he is owner of the company. This is a privately held, family-owned and operated company.
So it's a small company.
Yes.
First of all, so it's not a gargantuan giant that's going to take forever to actually talk to.
No, a lot of the decisions that get made are around one table, and just like a normal family would argue, that's how decisions are made here. A lot of arguments. So.
Well, the driving force behind our country is the small company, and the small company means a lot to all of us. And when you come out with just incredible quality joysticks and gamepads, which is something that quite literally gets abused more often than used correctly.
That's true. It's more of an educational process to the consumer as well. You can buy 5 joysticks that are going to break on you, or you can buy 1 joystick and stick with it. We do have a 3-year warranty. I probably already mentioned that on all our products. So if there's ever a problem, just send it back. We'll fix it and get it out. So
now, this is actually your newest product. Has it actually been released yet?
It was released just for Christmas last year, and we really rushed it to market, so we would be the first out. This is the industry's first force feedback joystick, and it has forces enabled inside the stick that actually fight back. A normal joystick is an input-only device. This is an input-output.
For instance, when you're firing a machine gun with your trigger,
you'll feel the buffeting.
The joystick is going to start moving around on it.
Yes.
Or
as you can see, I'm not doing anything. It's not hooked up to a computer at this point.
For instance, a racing game, you can actually feel the road.
Yes, that's
the turns, the gravel, the asphalt, whatever have you. And that's a great idea, and that is actually based on your F-16 flight stick of some sort.
Well, our F-16 joysticks were designed for the flight simmer in mind.
Yeah.
If actually our CEO, who's right behind us, flew FA-18 planes for 20 years in the Navy.
Wow.
And so he had a lot to do with the design of our sticks. And they are right-handed with a left-handed throttle, just like you would find in an F-16 cockpit. So
great.
yeah, we use that design, but here we designed it with motors and boards to really take the gamer to the next level.
And it's actually pretty meaty compared to some other people's stuff that we've seen that's force feedback.
Yes.
But as far as I've always known with the CH products, they're meaty because meaty means both heavy and the fact that it's not going to break or fall apart on you.
Correct.
Now, of course, we have other products, and the other products would be things like the CH Throttle Pro.
The Pro Throttle, yes. That's a 20-function programmable throttle. You can see it has an 8-way switch, 3 4-ways, 4 push buttons. This, when you're showing up the side, and the up and down throttle movement is also programmable for engine control. And the benefit to this Pro Throttle is that it will make any joystick, any standard joystick, programmable as well. So
not just a CH product.
Nope, any other
anybody's.
one. For instance, this is a 14-function combat stick that we also make. It's been a great seller for us. And this has 14 functions in itself as a standalone stick, but when you hook it up with the Pro Throttle, these 14 become programmable as well. So you have 34 functions to do whatever you'd like.
And you can always add a set of pro pedals.
Yes, you can.
Now,
you can have yourself a whole cockpit.
Here's Brad, and Brad is playing with what version of, in fact, he's using both right now.
Yes, this is the latest stick that will be coming out, hasn't shipped yet. It's the Jane's Combat Stick. We're working with Electronic Arts to develop a stick that will have a full version of advanced tactical fighters packaged in with this stick. It has a larger base and the ability to press buttons simultaneously.
What are you playing,
So,
Brad?
Right now I'm playing, I believe this is U.S. Navy Fighters Gold, and I'm flying the Stealth right now. I really like this because with the throttle I can pull up different menus of different views, different gauges, so I know exactly what's going on.
We're now here with Heavy Gear, and Tim Morton's with us. He's the director of the whole entire game.
This is the vehicle we're piloting, the Gear. You can see there's a lot of detail that we put into the artwork to make it look realistic. We jump back in the cockpit here. We have some weapons in this game that are brand new. This one happens to be a light guided mortar. I'm gonna. All right, and there's my enemy. And I'm gonna engage this guy in some combat. Here he comes. See him moving out there. This one's actually got a land ship in it. It's kind of like an aircraft carrier.
And we're with Blizzard Entertainment. They're actually not in the E3 building. They needed so much room, they had to come across to another center. And in front of us, we have Warcraft Adventures, the next somewhat of a sequel in the Warcraft trilogy, as it were. Actually, it's going to be more than that. And this is Lord of the Clans. This is more adventure-based, and I think I would like to have you explain it.
Okay. Basically, in Warcraft Adventures Lord of the Clans, you play the character of Thrall, who is an orc, who is raised by humans as a slave, and then he escapes, and he has to fulfill prophecy and become the fabled leader of the orcs back to their honor, back to their warrior ways.
Now, Lord of the Clans is a wonderful little piece, and it looks like a total step away from the original Warcraft and Warcraft 2 series.
This is completely true. What's happened is we've been inspired by classic adventure games like Sam & Max or the Monkey Island series, and we realized that in the world of Azeroth, there's a lot of story that we haven't been able to tell in the context of a strategy game. So we've decided to make an adventure game in the world of Warcraft that'll let us tell that story.
And kind of fill in the content for
fill in the context, exactly. For example, you'll be able to go into Griffin Eyries, you'll be able to go into the Temple of the Damned. The characters from Warcraft and the buildings of Warcraft will be integral parts of Thrall's journey to through his destiny.
Now, with Warcraft Battle of the Clans, or Lord of the Clans, you have a release date of...
We're expecting this to be out on the stores for Christmas. And this will be simultaneous PC and Macintosh.
Great. So there's no waiting around for one or the other, in other words.
No, we want to be platform neutral to bring as many gamers as possible the Blizzard vision.
Your demo, do you have a demo scheduled?
We are not sure about that. Since it's an adventure game, it's like you can't give away too much in the demo because the story is the thing.
Sure.
So check our website, and as more details develop, it'll be available there.
Okay, great. Now, with another quick question about Lord of the Clans, do you have the same developers creating this as we're creating, say, for instance, the Warcraft and Warcraft 2 series?
Yes.
Artwork-wise, is this something else that has expanded upon, for instance, the temples, like your original sketches?
What's happening is the original minds at Blizzard, Chris Metzen, Chris Miller, Bill Roper, all the rest of the team at Blizzard were very team-oriented. Everyone helps contribute to the final
Great,
product.
That sounds really good.
Have come up with the script and the art. We did various sketches, which we were sent to. We have a team of 100 artists working on this.
Wow, and you're still plugging away at it too, as I take it. Now, you're the lead tester for this, correct?
I'm the lead quality assurance tester. So if there are any bugs,
it's all your fault.
Don't send any email to me. Send it to tech support, and they'll help you. But we take quality seriously at Blizzard.
Absolutely.
We put in very long hours to determine.
It proves it in your products too.
Right.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Yet again, Blizzard Entertainment and in their complex away from the actual E3 conference because they needed the room to show off their games and let us all sit at ease after the conference is over. With me, I have James Finney. James Finney is one of the lead people in charge of StarCraft. StarCraft you're going to see sometime in the near future. What is your release date, James?
We don't have a specific date set. We're intending to release it sometime this year. We're sure we're going to get it before Christmas, but especially because of the large number of real-time strategy games that are coming out this year, our focus is to be the best, and not just marginally, but to be the best by far. And in order to get that kind of craftsmanship into the game, mainly that takes time. And so sometime later this year is all
Great, that sounds great. Now this is a real-time strategy, meaning you have things along the lines of the old Warcraft 2 series, using some sort of engine or AI parts of that, or?
Well, we've had to recode pretty much everything. When we first started, we thought we could maybe reuse some of the stuff we had in Warcraft 2 and get a game that we'd all be proud of, but we found as we got into the project that we really needed to do everything over and do it better in order to keep up with the times and also to push the envelope and do the kinds of things that we wanted to see in the game. The Terran side is, as I said before, let me go and make it so that we can see things quickly here. They've got a command center that they use to train SCVs, which are their workers. And these go gather resources and build buildings. One of the quick user interface enhancements you'll see is that you can build up to 5 at a time at one of these structures. And that holds for all of the Terran buildings that build things. For instance, barracks here. Once you get started on that will be able to make numerous guys at once. Also, is things like the context-sensitive help here. For abilities that you don't have just yet, grayed out icon right now, it's gold there, but grayed out icon appears and tells you where you research it. Another thing is, I don't know if you've seen, there are transmissions coming in, SCVs telling you reporting for duty. One of the things that happens when you have a really big town going is you end up having guys that are idle because it's hard to manage them all, hard to keep track of when they're idle and when they're not. What we've done is, anytime you get one of those transmissions, you can hit F2 and it centers on where that is. So anytime you've got guys that are idle, they let you know right away by sending you a transmission. You can hop there immediately. We maintain a list of those, so you can see I hopped to the last few guys who send me transmissions, so I can go ahead and give those guys some orders too.
It's E3, it's almost over. Look at this place, it's incredible. This is Infinite Megahertz. We brought you the latest and the greatest, and now we brought you before it even came out. Infinite Megahertz. Watch us, like us, and keep it going.
This is the cool part, man. This is where it locks up.